He asked me if I thought he was my soulmate, and I said, "You were just the most convenient option." I didn't flinch. I didn't soften the blow. I said it like I'd rehearsed it 1,000 times in my head, even though, in that moment, it was the first time I realized just how cruel the truth could sound out loud. My name is Layla. I'm 30. And I want to tell you how one sentence, one moment of unfiltered honesty, ruined the best thing I ever had. I met Adam when I was 23. I was in between jobs, couch surfing at my cousin's place, completely lost in life. He was calm, kind, older by 4 years. He had his life in order: apartment, savings, steady job. He wasn't flashy, but he was solid. And that's what drew me in. When he cooked dinner for me on our second date, I remember thinking, this feels like home. It wasn't sparks and butterflies. It was comfort. It was safety. And after dating emotionally unavailable guys for years, Adam felt like a miracle. We moved in together within a year. He always paid the rent on time, remembered to change the sheets, packed me lunch when I had long shifts. And I told myself this was enough. But deep down, I started to resent how easy it all was. Isn't love supposed to feel electric? Like you're constantly being swept off your feet? What we had didn't feel like that. It felt quiet, predictable, safe. And I mistook that for boring. The years passed. He brought up marriage twice. I dodged it both times. I said things like, "Let's just enjoy where we are. What's the rush?" But in truth, I didn't want to commit to someone I wasn't in love with. I cared about Adam, sure. But soulmate? I wasn't sure I even believed in that. Then came the night that changed everything. We were sitting on the couch after dinner, just watching a movie, our usual routine. And during a quiet scene, he muted the television and turned to me. He said, "Do you think I'm your soulmate?" I blinked, laughed a little, and then, without thinking, I replied, "You were just the most convenient option." Silence. Heavy, immediate. He didn't speak, didn't look away. He just nodded. Slowly, like something inside him confirmed what he had feared for a long time. He didn't yell, didn't accuse. He simply said, "Thanks for telling me the truth." Then he stood up, walked to the bedroom, and closed the door. I sat there, feeling nothing. Not guilt, not sadness, just empty. I thought he'd cool off and come back to talk. He always did. But the next morning, when I woke up, his side of the bed was cold, his closet half empty, and the spare key was left on the kitchen counter. He was gone. If you're still with me, comment soulmate, because that's what I realized he was. Way too late. I tried calling him. No answer. Tried texting. Left on read. I called his best friend. He said Adam was staying with him. Said he was taking time to think. Time turned into weeks. Then a full month. And I still didn't feel ready to apologize. Not because I wasn't sorry, but because I didn't understand why he was so hurt. I told myself, at least I was honest. But there's a difference between honesty and carelessness. The thing is, he didn't leave because I didn't say yes. He left because I said no with such cold certainty. I reduced everything we had to convenience, and that cut deeper than betrayal ever could. Because for him, I was everything. For me, he was fine. And no one deserves to feel like a placeholder in their own relationship. One day, I saw him on Instagram, smiling, with a woman, on a hike. That used to be our thing. And for the first time, I felt the sting of my own choice. Because it wasn't that he found someone new, it was that he looked peaceful, free. Like he'd finally accepted that the love he gave me, he could give to someone who actually wanted it. And me? I started going on dates, trying to recreate what we had. But no one made me feel safe like Adam did. No one thought of me first. No one made tea exactly how I liked it. No one laughed at my worst jokes, and the silence in my apartment at night, it started to feel like punishment. One night, I sat at the kitchen table and wrote him a message I never sent. I didn't mean it. You weren't convenient. You were consistent. You were patient. You were the love I didn't recognize because I was too busy chasing chaos. But I knew better than to send it. Because some doors, once closed, don't open again. Now, every time someone asks me if I believe in soulmates, I say yes. Because I met mine. And I let him go. Not because he did anything wrong, but because I couldn't see the value of someone who didn't make me beg for love. So if you're in a relationship right now, and it feels too easy, too calm, or too convenient, take a step back. Look closer. You might be holding the rarest kind of love in your hands. Don't wait until it's too late to see it. Don't do what I did. Don't say something you'll play over in your head for the rest of your life. Because one moment of pride can cost you a lifetime of peace. Comment soulmate if this story shook something inside you. Share it with someone who needs to hear it before they ruin something real. And remember, quiet love isn't boring. It's safe, and safe is rare.